So we are in Clovis, California, and we tried to repair this Price Pfister Roman tub valve. And so we got with Price Pfister. They identified the model for us. They sent us the replacement cartridges. And let me see if I can get the number off of there. It's the Pfister. Let's take a look, just for future. Pfister, so it's the Pfister 910 3000 Roman tub stem, which is it's either B00 or B00. I'm not sure what those two are, but then D5Z166E. I don't see any labeling on them, but so it's the Pfister 910 3000 Roman tub compression. So anyways, these guys right here, these were in there, and older than the hills, old as the home, and they had failed. Someone had worked on this previously, and they'd come in and tried to build their own gaskets on here on the bottom. There's a little plastic ring that actually seats right here at the bottom against the valve body, the stem itself inside the tub, which is the portion below the tile. And so they tried to put in some like high temperature gasket sealer in there, and then looks like some pipe dope, and it didn't seal. Of course, then the rubber stops at the bottom. Those are pretty worn. And so Price Pfister sent us the parts, and they directed us to replace them, just the stems themselves. Hot and cold, they're the same. And they directed us to replace the stems. And if that resolved the issue, great. If not, they said we should replace the seats or the seals. These go at the very bottom. Now they're about 2.5 inches deep. They require a Torx wrench. So we went out and we bought one, and it was the T45. So this guy right here, the T45, you know, it goes down in there and it fits perfect. Unfortunately, the seats that are in right now have been in calcified water. You know, I have hard water here in Clovis and Fresno. So it's been sitting there since the build of the home, and I would imagine that's been 22, 25 years. And so it's sealed in there. The only thing I recommend you could do is leave the water off for about 24 hours, get all the water out of these valve stems, or the cartridges, not the cartridges, but the bodies, the valve bodies themselves, pour some distilled white vinegar in there, let it soak, and maybe it would break it loose, because these would need to unscrew. And what happens is right here at the top, you can see that's where it meets the rubber. So right there, down in the tub, you can see that's where that guy is going to seat against. Okay, that rubber seals real good. Well, down in there, if there's any imperfections on the top of this, either corrosion, calcium buildup, or something's broken down, then these rubber gaskets, they're not going to seal. Even with the new stems in there, it won't seal. So it's not sealing. These handles, you should be able to turn them very lightly off, very lightly on. What you have to do is really crank it down to get it to turn off and stop dripping. And so that's not right. So what we're going to do today is we're not going to charge any labor for the installation. We're going to charge for the parts, $50 for the parts. It was $175 for labor. We're going to waive the fee, because I don't feel good about leaving and not actually repairing something. So we're going to leave these in place. Right now, there's no leaking out of the top at all. I can't say what's going to happen, you know, once I leave. Obviously, when you begin to, and I explain this to homeowner, once you begin to use these on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, I don't know what's going to happen. It probably will become more and more aggressively. You'll have to shut these valves down to get them to stop flowing water out of the spout. So right now, completely closed. No leaking, and this is the cold side, and no leaking, and that is the hot side. And so, not pleased with it. I am going to send them a proposal for cutting open the side of the tile, right there. It's a 14 by 14 opening. We got a stainless steel panel from Ferguson, and it opens and closes, and it gives you access. You cut the tile, you cut any wood in the way, you go in there, and then you cut the plumbing back, and you put in a new valve body. So hot and cold, and a spout stub out, get it all fixed, put together, and get the water turned on, and then set the trim up here so you're good to go. So we're going to send a proposal for that. We did recommend, if you would like, you know, we could refer you out to another plumbing company and see if they could work on it. And that's totally, you know, if you still want to go that direction, just give me a holler, and I'll be glad to refer you to someone who's excellent plumbing company, my main competitor, and a good friend of mine, as well as a 5-star rated plumbing company on Yelp. So anyways, we're going to get the handles back on and get our stuff out of here. Outside of that, this installation is done.